Welcome back everyone to this use case on inventory integration with e-commerce. Now we are going to discuss the solution to these business requirements. If you haven't seen the first video, please consider watching it before going through this solution with us. So, how are we going to configure Odoo? First, the front end, the webshop design. The first point was to display the inventory on the webshop. Then the possibility to select optional and alternative products, and that the customer can choose their shipping method. The second part of this configuration would be the backend. How are we going to set up Odoo? First, with the possibility to automatically select the warehouse when a sale is done. Then the outgoing shipments should follow a three-step process: pick, pack, and deliver. And the bikes can be packed and the labels printed. And finally, replenishment between B2C and B2B warehouses needs to be done. First, let's go through the front end. How can we display the inventory on the e-commerce webpage? This can be done directly on the product form under the tab Sales. Two fields are available, and these two fields can be mixed. These two fields are out of stock, continue selling, or show available quantity only if below a certain amount. Where do we find that in the database? Let's take an example. Here we are going in the inventory app under products, in one of the products under the sales tab, and here we can see out of stock, continue selling, show available quantity only if below 20 units. Here we want our bikes, our basic bike, to always be available on our website. So we are going to continue selling even though we are out of stock. We want also the users and the customers to see the available quantity so that they know when to order and they know how many quantities are left in our stock. If I have no available quantity, then you can display an out of stock message. For example, hello there, sorry, this item is not in stock at the moment. The delivery lead times can be increased. You also have the opportunity to add a ribbon displaying, for example, out of stock. Let's see on the website directly how it works. So here is my website. Here I am on the shop webpage under the product Basic Bike. I can see that this product is out of stock and a text is displayed. Hello there, sorry, this item is not in stock at the moment. The delivery lead times can be increased. If I'm going on under another product, I will be able to see the available quantities displayed. Only 6 units left in stock, for example. Let's go back to the slides. How can we display the accessory, alternatives, and optional products? This can be done as well through the product form. But first, what are the differences between alternative, accessories, and optional products? Alternative, you choose between two products. Accessories, you add to your main product different types of other products, other accessories, such as, for example, sunglasses and helmets. Optional products can be the same, but they appear at a different point in the purchase flow. Let's see how it works in a real case example. I'm on my web page. I want to add that to the cart. Oh, no, I'm going actually on the basic bike. I add this bike to the cart, and here the helmet appears when I have this add to cart form that appears. The accessories appear when I have one article. I look at my cart, and here I have the suggested accessories, and I can add them directly to my cart. How do we configure that in Odoo? You go into your products, in your product form, under the basic bike, under sale, and here you can add as many accessory products as you want. the alternative products and also the optional products under the same tab from which we configured the inventory display. Now let's talk about shipping connectors. So this can be done either from the back end in the sales order or from the front end in the webshop. There are three conditions for using shipping connectors. First, the customer address must be filled in. The warehouse address and the company address must be filled in as well. And the phones must be also registered for the customer and for the warehouse. And the product weight must be specified. How can we configure all this information? Let's go back to our database. First, the product weight. So in the basic bike, we go under the inventory tab, and here we can specify the product weight. Now we can also go into sales, configuration, settings, and here we have all our shipping connectors that are available. I chose for this example FedEx connector, and I am going into the inventory app to configure my warehouse's address. For example, for the B2C, my address is already filled in with my phone number. When we create sale, when we create a quotation, we have add product, for example, basic bike. I don't want that, I only want my basic bike. I have the opportunity to add shipping. If I am directly on my website, when I am on the website, I have the possibility to add a product to the cart. I go into the cart, process checkout, my address is already filled in, and my delivery method appears here. I can now proceed with the payment. Now let's discuss the back-end configuration of this use case. Let's first talk about warehouse selection. We have two options here under the website configuration, either the option to choose a warehouse or to leave this field empty. If no warehouse is selected, then the sum of the available quantities is displayed, and the sale order takes automatically from the first warehouse in the sequence. The second option is one warehouse is selected, and then only the available quantity for this warehouse is displayed, and the sale order takes obviously from this warehouse. Let's see on the database how it works. We are going on the website, configuration settings, under the tab products. Here you have the option to select a warehouse, either B2C or B2B. If we do not select any warehouses, then when we go on our website, shop, we are seeing all the available quantities in the two different warehouses. If we select one warehouse, for example, the B2C warehouse, then we save it. Then if we go onto our e-commerce page, we do not see any units on stock. Why? Because we do not have any available quantities in this warehouse. Let's check that. So for example, inventory, product, we were looking at medium bike. We have 6 available quantities. We can see that these quantities are available in the B2B warehouse, but we don't have any available quantities on the B2C warehouse. In the inventory, we also have the opportunity to look at the sequence of the warehouses. What is the sequence? Well, it's the order in which the warehouses are set up. Here we can see that the B2C warehouse is above the B2B warehouse. It means that if we do not specify any warehouses in the website configuration, then the sale order will take automatically from the B2C warehouse. For this use case, we are not going to select any warehouse because we want to display all the available quantities that we have both in our B2C warehouse and in our B2B warehouse. But we are going to put the B2C warehouse at the top of our sequence so that all the orders that are coming from the web page are delivered through the B2C warehouse only. Now let's talk about the three-step shipment process. So every shipment originating from this warehouse, the B2C warehouse, will go through the three steps: pick, pack, and deliver. Here, when we create that, when we configure that on the warehouse form, it creates three operations in the inventory dashboards. These operations are pick, pack, and deliver. These three steps are also linked to packing and label printing. Bear in mind that this is only available in V15, and several conditions must be respected if we want to use that. First, the shipping must be added. The customer address, the warehouse address, and the company address must be filled in. The product weight must be specified. The three-step process for shipment must be activated. And this can be done, for example, in the pack operations. How can we do that? First, we are in the inventory app, configuration, warehouses. Let's go into our B2C warehouse. Here, we want to select pack goods, send goods in output, and then deliver. 3 steps for outgoing shipments. This means that if we go into our inventory overview, we can see that 3 operations has been created: pick, pack, and deliver. Here, for example, when we have an order that must be delivered to the customer, it goes first through the picking process, which means that the logistic operator will take the quantity in the stock and bring it to the packing zone, which leads to the second operation, pack. This will take the unit from the packing zone to the output zone. And finally, the delivery, which takes the package from the output zone and put it directly in the truck. So here we can also select, either from pick or from pack, the option to print a label. In V14, we only had the option to print a label in the delivery stage. Here we can see that the shipping information has been propagated to the 2 upper operations, pick and pack. So for example, here, if we click on the 3 dots, we can click on configurations, and here we have the opportunity to print a label. This can also be done in the pack operations here. In this case, we want the labels to be printed in the packing operation and not the picking operation. All good. So let's go through an example of how we can print a label for a specific orders. We are in the sales. So we can here create a quotation for our customer test GVR. He wants to buy the luxury bike. We do not forget to add the shipping. And we are going to choose FedEx US. We can here get the rate, which is 53.42 euros. We can add that to the order. And it adds a line here. We can confirm this quotation, and we can see on this smart button that 3 outgoing shipment operations have been created. These 3 operations come from the fact that we have configured our warehouse to follow a 3-step shipment process: pick, pack, and deliver. We can access these 3 operations by clicking on this smart button here, or we can go from the inventory dashboard, in which we can see all the operations that we have to process. We can see here that we have one picking operation to process. This operation is move the luxury bike from our stock to the packing zone. We can validate it and apply. Now, if we go back to the inventory dashboard, we can see that we don't have any more picking operation to process, but we have one packing operation. By clicking on that, we can see that it was before waiting for another operation, and now it is set as ready. Here, we are going to move the luxury bike from the packing zone to the output zone. We can validate it, apply, and we can see here that we are done with the packing operation. We can also see that a label has been created. By clicking on this icon here, we can see the label that is going to be added to the package. A tracking number, is also displayed in the chatter. If we go back to the slides, we can now talk about the replenishment between the B2C and the B2B warehouses. So what do we want? We want the B2C warehouse to sell to the customers. And we want the B2B warehouse to act as a storage warehouse for the B2C warehouse. So when the B2C warehouse is out of stock, then it's going to be replenished from the B2B warehouse. How can we configure that? Well, it's easy. We just have to go to the warehouse here, select B2C warehouse, and select this field here, resupply from B2B warehouse. What does it do? This creates another route. So here we are on the route. We are going to have just a deeper look at this new route that has been created. So supply the product from the B2B warehouse to the B2C warehouse. We can see that in the action column that the action is pulled from, which means that the need is going to be brought up from the B2C warehouse to the B2B warehouse. And we are going to have as well a delivery that is created between the B2B warehouse stock to the physical location inter-warehouse transit. And then we are going to have a receipt from this physical location inter-warehouse transit to the B2C warehouse stock. This inter-warehouse transit is useful to track the product routing. So we are now going, as the route is correctly configured, we are now going to go directly on the product. So basic bike, we are going to have a look at the reordering rules, and we are going to create two reordering rules. One with the buy route for the B2B warehouse stock, because we are going to buy the product directly from the bike vendor. And for the B2C warehouse stock, we are going to select the route supply product from B2B warehouse, which is the route that has been selected directly in the warehouse. And the trigger is going to be auto. If we don't want to select auto, we can select manual. And in this case, then once the minimum quantity is reached, then the product is going to appear in the replenishment dashboard. Once everything is settled correctly, now we can proceed with a full product flow. So we are going directly from our web shop. We click on basic bike. We can now add this to the cart. Go into our cart, proceed to the checkout. Now our address has been automatically filled in. We have here the shipping method and the shipping costs, so we can proceed with the payment. The payment has been received. We can now jump back to our database, go on the sales app, and if we have a look here, we can see that a new quotation has been created. So it is not yet a sales order because the client has not confirmed the order yet. But let's imagine that he had, and we can confirm the quotation, which transforms the quotation to a sales order. If we see here the smart button, we can see that 3 operations have been created: pick, pack, and deliver. And if we click on it, we can see that the first one, picking, is still waiting for something. So it means that we do not have enough stock on hand at the moment. So it's going to trigger another rule. As we have set up our product correctly, we can have a look at the inventory dashboard. And in this dashboard, we can see that we have one picking operation that is waiting, one packing waiting, and one delivery order that is waiting. We can also see that in the B2B warehouse, we have one delivery order to process. If we click on it, we can see that it is from the B2B warehouse stock to this physical location inter-warehouse transit. This means that the route that has been created to resupply the B2C warehouse from the B2B warehouse has properly been triggered. So if we validate this delivery order, apply, and we can now proceed with the receipt. As you can see here in the delivery order and in the receipt as well, we can see that the quantity is 16. Why 16? It's because our reordering rule was of a maximum of 15, and we have an order of 1 unit. And as we didn't have any unit on hand, then the system is going to order automatically the maximum amount plus the amount that we have on our order. So we can validate the receipt. Perfect. And now we can proceed with the 3 operations. Either we can proceed directly from here, or we can go from our sales order smart button. So if we jump back to our sales order and we click on the 3 deliveries, we can see that here it has changed from waiting to ready, and now we can proceed with the picking operation. Validate, apply, validate, apply. And finally, we can see here in the packing operation that our label has been printed. And if we go back to our transfer, the delivery is ready to be shipped out to the customer. We validate it and apply. And now our order has been sent to the customer. And if we go back to our web shop, we can see that by clicking on the My Account in the web shop, sale order, we can see that this icon here indicates that the order has been shipped. Perfect. So thank you for attending to this use case and have a great day. Bye.